and welcome to Chapter 9, Section 6. This is all about finding the area of irregular figures. Now, the secret to irregular figures is knowing that they're made up of basic shapes. Circles, squares, triangles, things like that. Rectangles. So, your job, it's kind of like a logic puzzle. You want to break the figure down into the parts that make it up and figure out how to find the area of each of those parts and then add them together. Or sometimes subtract them, but we'll get there, okay? So for example, we have here a figure that looks like a rectangle with a half circle stuck onto it. So we're going to separate the two of these so that we can find the area of this and the area of this and add them together. So, first off, I'm going to look at my rectangle because that's easy. And that's 7 times 8. That's 56 meters squared. That's for this part. Then I want to look at this part. This is my circle. Now, it's only half a circle. So when I do all of the math for the circle, I'm going to have to cut it in half at the end. So, I know that my circle has a diameter of 7. That means it's got a radius of 3.5. So, my area of the circle is pi r squared, which is 3.14 times 3.5 times 3.5. And of course, I'm going to show all my work by writing that out. Yes. Then I'm actually going to do the math, and I'm going to come up with 38.465 because I have a magic calculator, 6.5. And then I'm going to divide that by 2 because I only have half a circle, and I'm going to get 19.2325. And I'm going to add this number to my 56. And I'm going to end up with 75, and I'm going to round here to the nearest, let's say 10. 0.2 meters squared is going to be my total area for this whole thing. So, it's not hard, it's just a little more complicated. It's finding the steps that you need. Okay? So let's look at this one. This shape is actually a rectangle and a triangle stuck together. So we're going to separate them if we can. We've got a rectangle that's 5 by 20, and that's going to give us 100 square inches just in this section. Then over here, I've got a triangle. Oh, here, let me do that to make that a lot easier for you. My triangle here has a base of 4 and a height of 5 here and 5 more here. So it's got a total height of 10. So we're going to do, the area of my triangle is going to be base times height divided by 2. So that's going to be 10 times 4 divided by 2, which is 40 divided by 2, which is 20. So I'm going to add 20 to my total here, and I'm going to end up with 120 square inches for my irregular figure area here. Okay? Now, there isn't, just one way to do this. You're going to come up with a whole bunch of different types of shapes. And really, the more experience you get, the better, the more confidence you have. Okay, so we're just going to try a bunch of different shapes. So, here's one that's a floor plan with 2 alcoves in it. And our alcoves are exact semicircles, half circles. So, essentially what we have here, we have a rectangle and we have 2 half circles. That's a whole circle. So I'm just going to treat that like one circle. And my circle has a radius of 4, which means it has a diameter of, nope, said it wrong. It has a diameter of 4, which means it has a radius of 2. So the area of my circle is pi r squared. That is 3.14 times 2 times 2. And 3.14 times 2 times 2 is 12.56. So the area of these two is 12.56. Then I want the area of my rectangle. Now that's going to be 6 tall, and it's going to be 4 plus 4 plus 4, so it's going to be 12 long. So that's 12 by 6, which is 72. So now I've got 72 plus 12.56, and I end up with 84.56 meters squared. Okay? Then we have this one. This one is irregular steps. And I could take this in a couple of different ways. I'm going to choose to make 3 rectangles out of this. I'm going to make my rectangles go this way. Your rectangles can go sideways, or you can do a couple of different things with this. But let's make rectangles here. So my first rectangle, let's take this one because it's easy. This is 10 by 6, so this is 60 feet squared. This one is 8 across, but it's 4 and 6 tall. And 4 and 6 is 10, so this is really 8 by 10, which is 80. This one is also 8 feet across, and it's 10 feet plus 4 feet plus 6 feet. So it's 10 feet plus 10 feet. So this is 8 by 20, so that makes this 160 feet squared. So 160 plus 80 plus 60, 1220, that makes it 300 feet squared, the area of this irregular stair. Then we've got this thing. And essentially what this thing is a rectangle with a half circle cut out on each side. And if I could draw well, they would be the same size. But essentially these are two half circles. So I'm going to treat them like one whole circle when I do my math. And that whole circle has a diameter of 10. So it's got a radius of 5. Whoops, I didn't work this out ahead of time. So the area of my circle is pi r squared, which is 3.14 times 5 times 5, which I'm going to do very quickly and say 3.14 times 5 is 78.5. Oh, I did it before. 78.5. Now, that's actually taken out of this rectangle. So I'm actually going to subtract this from my overall total. My overall total, of course, the area of my square is going to be 20 times 10, which is 200. So I'm going to take 200 and I'm going to subtract 78.5, and I'm going to need to add that, and I'm going to need to go across a whole bunch of zeros. And 10 minus 5 is 5. 9 minus 8 is 1. 9 minus 7 is 2. 1. So I'm going to have 121.5 meters squared in this little area here. Not bad. Not hard. Just a little complicated. All right. The more shapes you do, the better you get. So I'm going to give you 2 to work on your own. I've got one here that's a square, because it's 12 by 12, but it's got a little chunk taken out. So I need you to discover the chunk and go ahead and take that out and subtract to find the total. Then I've got an ice cream cone shape. I've got a triangle with a base and a height, and I've got a half circle with a diameter. So your job is to find the total area of these 2 figures. So if you have any questions, let me know tomorrow. Write them down, because each irregular figure is going to have its own set of problems. But just sit down and try and figure out what shapes they are and how you can break them apart into smaller shapes so you can see where it is you need to go. Okay? Good luck, and I will see you tomorrow. Take care.